I am at the airport. The question is, which airport am I at? You will be finding out in the course of this video. By the way, there's going to be a lot of talking in my hotel room in Muscat. Most of this video is not really about filming the journey because that just kind of wasn't really possible. But anyways, the attempt to escape the war zone of the Middle East. Here we go. Hey guys, how's it going? Good morning. Today is Saturday, March 7th, 2026. Currently 54 degrees Fahrenheit out there. That is 12 degrees Celsius, and that right there, it's a little hard to read. Something authority. Anyways, that is the airport out there. During the day, I could see planes on the runway, and so it is currently 12:36, and that is AM just after midnight. Today is the day that I'm finally, hopefully, if all goes as planned, getting off the ground and leaving the Middle East. I have a flight booked to India at 8:20 in the morning, so just about 8 hours from now. A big consideration was, how early should I get to the airport? The reports have been super long lines. Possibly you should get there like 8 or 10 hours before. That is what some people are saying. I am assuming that being the middle of the night, then it's going to be at least less crazy. I got to sleep around 5 in the morning, just kind of got a few hours sleep, and then was here during the day. And so I was still pretty tired out. So I decided to get some more sleep. I set my alarm for 2 a.m. thinking, okay, let's go for get up at 2 and get out of here by 3, and then I get there 5 hours in advance. It really seems like that should be enough. But I woke up at like 11:30, and I'm figuring now at this point, then might as well just get over there. As long as I'm awake and just using the computer or whatever, then I might as well be doing it there, even if I can't actually get checked in yet once I arrive. Here's my stuff. It's a mess. I need to get this stuff packed up, and then I will go ahead and catch a taxi over to the airport as soon as I am packed up here in 30 minutes or so, and then I will be there like 7 hours early, but might as well do it. So one consideration is that when I checked in for this flight, when you check in, you then of course pay for any extras, luggage, seating, and I also paid for priority line. It was only like $15 extra, something like that. So I figured, yeah, heck, might as well go for that. If it actually helps or not, we shall see. But when I was checking in, then for the luggage, there were 3 options for the checked bag. I think one was only like 5 kilograms, and then one was 10 kilograms, and then 20 kilograms. Now, 20 kilograms is preferable because my backpack, which I check under the plane, has been coming out at around 12 kilograms or like 25 pounds or so. And then I take my smaller day pack here on the plane with me as a carry-on. But there was a fairly big price difference between the 10 kilograms and the 20 kilograms. I forget now the prices, but it was, I think, getting close to $100 for the 10 kilograms, and then it was like another 50 bucks or so more than that for the 20 kilograms. And so part of my plan for getting my backpack down to 10 kilograms because, for one thing, I don't want to get there to the desk, have them weigh the backpack, and then it's like 11.5 kilograms, and then I have this scramble trying to take stuff out when it's going to be like high pressure with lots of people in the line and everything. So I really want to make sure that that bag is, I think when they say 10 kilograms, it could be 10.9 kilograms. As long as it's 10 something kilograms, then you're good. And so one of the ways that I'm going to lose some weight, so to speak, is the shoes. And so I'm kind of sad to say goodbye to them. I bought them in Puerto Rico because I was flying to Europe where it was going to be colder, $25. And so the price of those shoes is less than the amount that I would pay extra for the 20 kilograms. And besides, India and all my 3 flights today, whichever one I end up on, they're all going to South India where it is really hot. It is hotter than it is here. That was the whole point of the shoes, was pay 25 bucks for just an average pair of shoes while I'm in a colder place in Europe. And then it's something that I can just ditch and not worry about, you know, throwing out a good pair of shoes. And so I will leave the shoes here. And then I have 2 pairs of jeans because I bought a pair in Mexico, actually. I bought this pair of jeans. And so one of the pairs I will put in this bag to lighten up that bag. And then in the course of the packing up here, then I will see if I come across anything else that I can take out of there. 1:15 in the morning, flight departs in about 7 hours. So all packed up here. What I did as a way to be able to take some weight out if needed is I took out a few random things that are kind of small but have some weight to them, which are also safe to take in the carry-on bag. And then I'm going to put this bag at the top of my checked bag. And then if my checked bag is overweight, that is one thing that I can grab quickly that will take maybe a pound out and hopefully get it down to that 10 kilograms, we shall see. And then I could take that in my day pack carry-on bag. All right, all packed up. One last thing that I wanted to talk about here that I think people will find very, very interesting. So while I was in Qatar, then I learned that a woman that I follow, another traveler, Alyssa Ramos, who has been to like 100 and something countries, she was stuck in Kuwait, and ultimately she managed to get out along with a group of friends, or I think it was like a tour group that she was leading, like 5 or 6 women, managed to get a driver to take them to Riyadh, where they got a flight out. They were sitting on the runway for like an hour, not knowing if the flight was going to take off. Finally it did. Apparently the Riyadh airport closed right after that. I'm not sure if that was a temporary or permanent closure. I'm assuming it must be a temporary one because I haven't heard of the Riyadh airport being closed since then, not sure. But anyways, she got out, she got back home to the United States, and she just posted a story on Facebook showing the number of missiles being launched at various countries in the region. This is quite fascinating. Now, I don't know if this is accurate, but it seems about right based on what I have been hearing in general, although there is one big surprise. Now, there is one typo. If you zoom in closely, they included Oman twice, but you can see Oman got only 2 missiles launched at it, and that is exactly what I had heard. One that was apparently a stray missile, and then one other one that targeted the port near Muscat here. But look at the most number of missiles. United Arab Emirates. Number 2 is Kuwait, number 3 is Qatar. Now, keeping in mind that Qatar and Kuwait are both tiny little countries, United Arab Emirates is much bigger, Oman is much bigger than the United Arab Emirates, and yet there were only 2 missiles launched at Oman. So that is one of the reasons why I was trying to get to Oman, was because what I had heard was that there were much less missiles being launched here, and sure enough, like almost none compared to other countries. But what is really surprising to me is look at Israel. Israel has less missiles launched at it than the Gulf states. That is bizarre. I don't understand that at all. Maybe it's a matter of just because Israel is farther away, but Israel is the one that is attacking Iran, along with the United States, of course, and yet Iran is launching far more missiles at its Muslim Gulf neighbors than at Israel. Very, very strange. So for those who have been saying, like, don't worry about it, you know, it's not that big a deal, they're getting all the missiles. Here in the Gulf states, we've been getting hit by more missiles than in Israel. Now, fortunately, almost all of those have been getting shot down by the interceptor missiles, but not all of them. Some have gotten through. There have been hits in Dubai of a major hotel there, and you never know which one could possibly be one that gets through. But much more frightening, as I discussed in a previous video, is the possibility of the interceptor missiles that the Gulf states and Israel, of course, are using to shoot down the Iranian missiles, that those could possibly run out. Authorities here are denying those reports, but still, with that possibility hanging over your head, literally, of missiles possibly hitting targets because they can't be shot down, you really want to get out. So I will plan to make another video with tips for people who are unfortunately stuck still in the, you know, more dangerous zones when I get the chance. All right, let's do it. So the first complication, I can't pay for the taxi with a credit card. I have no Omani money. I have no United Arab Emirates money left. That might have been able to work. All that I have is US dollars, and so I need to go to an ATM, which fortunately there's one right over here, and get some local currency to pay for the taxi. It's only 150 Omani, which that's like $5 or something, which is nice and cheap. But all right, got cash. I withdrew 20 Omani just to be on the safe side, and then I'm sure that I will spend some of that in the airport. So I also asked him about Uber, the front desk guy, and he said that Uber doesn't work here. That would have been a solution to pay, you know, with a credit card through the Uber app, but I'm not sure if it doesn't work around here or just not in Oman at all. But anyways, that wasn't gonna work. All right, this is not what I expected. It's a beautiful new airport and not busy at all. So that is good news. I'm here too early, but that's fine. And look at this. This is awesome. A luggage weighing scale. 11 kilos 48. Oh man. Okay, I need to get more stuff out of there. So I got the bag down to 10.8 kilos. Hopefully that does the trick. There was an announcement saying that if your flight is more than 4 hours away, then basically take a seat somewhere. So heading to the food court. Not hungry, but very, very thirsty. Looking for something nice and cold to drink. And seems like filming isn't going to be an issue here. Things are really mellow. Totally unexpected. Not much in the food court, and what was there was closed. So there's a vending machine over here which has Pocari Sweat, which I really like, but it wasn't working. So the mission continues to try to find something to drink. And got a 7-Up. This is gonna be good. And boom, I am in. All through check-in, customs, security. It is currently 3:15 in the morning. My flight departs in 5 hours. So I decided to go ahead and see if I could check in early, and sure enough, that was fine. As I showed, the check-in line was short. There were almost no lines through customs and security. I'm confused at why it's so mellow here, but other than the sweeping machine, it is remarkably quiet and calm. So if you're stuck somewhere in this part of the world, Oman is definitely the place to try to get to. The safest country in the region and the most normal airport.
To ensure you proceed to the flight assigned gate, thank you for your cooperation.
Getting started editing the next video here. So a pretty fun fact. The first time that I flew to India in October of 1999, I actually had a layover in Muscat, Oman here for a while, like 6 or 8 hours or something. But it was definitely a different airport. I don't know how recently this airport was built, but it looks brand new. So that was 27 years ago, and I remember it being quite small and very, very, just basic, simple. And just knowing nothing about Oman, it sounded intimidating because it's on the Arabian Peninsula. Typical, Middle Eastern misconceptions of thinking, it's kind of a sketchy place or whatever, when really Oman is one of the mellowest, safest countries in the world. So yeah, that is a trip to think of how long ago that was. Oh yeah, that is looking, well, not exactly amazing, but looks good anyway. Departing in about an hour and a half, so we're getting close. Currently 7:15, about an hour to go until departure, so boarding will be happening very soon. At A3. And here we go, guys. It looks like it might actually be happening. Oh yeah. Looks like that is the plane. mission accomplished. This is Chennai in South India. So I just booked a taxi. I am heading south to Mahabalipuram. It is about an hour and a half taxi ride. So I'm going to end this video here. I'm not sure if I'm even going to film anymore once I get there, maybe just relax, but that is a huge relief. So here we go.
Thank you.